Hey, welcome to another episode of the Philosophy Podcast. I am your host, Controversy, and to my right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, none other than Mr.
Darren Love!
And together, we are the Philosophy Podcast. Thank you to you guys for tuning in to a brand new episode. Thank you for tuning in once again this week, guys. And like we always say, what is on the agenda for this week, mate? What is today's
hot topic?
What's today's hot topic, mate?
I thought we'd talk about the memory today.
So this week we're talking all about
I forgot. The memory.
The memory.
Yeah.
I haven't got such a good memory then.
Yeah, I almost forgot then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I thought that I think it's a very interesting subject to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what are your thoughts and your opinions and your ideas on memory and memories, I guess?
Well, I think like the memory is one of the most amazing things, or a bigger miracle than I can't think of a bigger miracle than having a memory, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
If you with me.
Yeah.
It's no good being born without a memory, basically, is it? If you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm glad I was born, yeah, but it'd be no good being born without no memory.
Well, our memory essentially is kind of like, if you look at it like in terms of like a computer, like it's our database, isn't it? It's our random access memory, our RAM, as they would say, like computer. Like you got,
It remembers everything.
Everything from feelings to experiences to everything. Not only actual experiences, but like how you felt, like emotion. It's got emotional memory. You got all types of different types of memory. It's
the memory grows every day. I think
Yeah.
Every day that goes by, you've got another day to remember.
Oh,
basically.
another more information.
Yeah. So I feel that I mean I'm coming up to 60.
Yeah.
And I've got more years to look back on, if you see what I'm saying,
Yeah.
And the memory just grows and grows, I mean, sometimes you forget things, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. But usually you can recall it as well.
Yeah.
Usually it will come back, even if you forget it for a couple of seconds, or even if it's just one of those things that bugs you for the whole day, and then it eventually comes back to you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what it was,
Well, when you wake up in the morning, you remember who you are.
Yeah, give thanks.
You remember where you are in a funny way,
Well, not everyone, so we have to give thanks.
Well, you remember what you've learned in the past, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, it's like, imagine like older people and shit that got dementia and Alzheimer's and all these things that can affect your memory. Imagine waking up. Even some young people, I remember looking after someone who was in their 50s, late 50s, no, early 50s actually, I think it was, and he had, this years ago, but he had dementia. And he would literally wake up every day and didn't know who he was, where he was, what's going on.
I think that's the last thing I want.
Quite sad, isn't it? It's the
last thing I want in life, yeah. Anything like that, and I think it's the last thing anyone wants in life. You don't want.
Yeah.
I mean, having a memory is a very beautiful thing, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. Of course.
You can take it to many places as well. Yeah. It just remembers, I mean, I can remember being married, and I can't remember everything about it, some of it's faded, but without a memory I wouldn't be able to have the ability to remember
to
anything,
recall all that, yeah.
And like I say, I think like I just wouldn't want to wake up tomorrow, and I mean, it's like being blind.
But yeah.
In a funny way, but deaf at the same time, because if you lose your memories, you just lose every sound, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like being blind and deaf at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you can't remember a thing, you can't remember even who your mother is.
It's funny too, because obviously you hear about people having car accidents and other any accidents related to any head injuries essentially that could lead to any form of like concussion or anything like that could potentially You know, you get people that literally get in car crashes and go into comas, as we all know and we've all heard about or experienced, you know, family members or whatever. And people sometimes wake up and they can't remember. You know, they've lost a particular part of their life. You know, where the brain, sometimes where the brain gets damaged, or there's some kind of, you know, that you know, trauma to that side of the brain or whatever. It causes people to, you know, to lose that memory bank essentially. You know, it's quite It's kind of like that film. You remember that film? Was it 50 First Dates or something like that? With Adam Sandler, I think, and I think it was Adam Sandler anyway.
Oh yeah, and she lost his memory.
She lost her memory, and he had it constantly. I think it's Drew Barrymore. I remember her for sure, but I can't remember if it's Adam Sandler or not. But that film was kind of based upon that same that principle, wasn't it? Of literally, she would every day she would, you know, he would have to start again, kind of thing, you know. Your memory is a very powerful tool. You know, it is like essentially going into your documents in your computer. If you see what I mean, you know, when you click on your documents in your computer, and you go in there, you've got all your files of, you know, your music, your videos, your whatever. Essentially, your memory's like that. It's like going into your documents, it's like getting the mouse and clicking and going, you know, what should I recall today? What should I recollect? Like even the other day, I was sitting down just randomly. My wife was at work and my kids were at school, and I was just on my own, and I was just sitting there in the morning having a cup of tea. And all of a sudden, this random memory just came back to me of like when I was like probably like 6 years old, if you see what I mean. Just, you know, all of a sudden, just randomly, I wasn't even thinking about anything, if you see what I mean. I was actually preoccupied at the time, busy doing, you know, tidying up or whatever. And all of a sudden, this random memory just came back to me so vividly, just randomly. All of a sudden, I was like, wow, like I hadn't thought about that for years. And look, all of a sudden, like just randomly out of the blue, my mind just something triggered it, and it took me back to that moment in time when I was at, you know, a very young age, you know.
I mean, that's another magical thing about memory.
Yeah.
You know, that you can actually go back in time. What about that? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think there's no other machine that can do it. I don't think. Do you know what I mean? You know, the memory can, or the imagination can. You know, they're both the same things if you ask me. You know, the memory, the imagination. And I really class that as the third eye.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? You know, it's your third eye. You know, not just can the memory capture sounds. Yeah. It can capture smells as well.
Oh yeah. Well, everything that your five senses and even your intuition can perceive, then it gets stored, doesn't it?
Say yesterday you got beat up, you'll remember it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? You look in the mirror and you'd see bruises on your face, but you can remember that pain that you went through as well. You know, things like that. You remember pain. You remember what a toothache's like. Yeah, you know, I do anyway. Yeah. You know.
Don't want one of those again.
So basically, the memory also remembers feelings, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
It remembers when you're happy. You know, you had a happy day yesterday, or did you have a bad day?
Sad day, or
did something go wrong? You know, and so on. So I think you can control your memories a bit, you know, by what you do. Yeah. You know, what you choose to do during the daytime in a funny way.
And I think also our brains have a funny way and our memory of also getting rid of the bad memories as well. It's almost like it's a defense mechanism, if you see what I mean. Don't get me wrong, you can still remember a lot of stuff and trauma and stuff that's happened in your life, but you tend to forget more of the bad stuff, more of the bad memories and bad experiences, or whatever the case may be, in comparison to all the, you know, the good memories and things that you've accumulated. You know, it's almost like a defense mechanism. You know, it's almost like a way of healing, in a sense. It kind of like you forget.
I think everybody's aiming to have a good day, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
They don't want anything to go wrong.
No.
You know, and I think when it does go wrong, you know, I think it's up to the individual to put it right as quickly as possible, whatever, and try to be happy about it. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I think each person's got a different attitude towards a mistake. Yeah. You know, I think, you know, or different responses, put it that way. You know, yeah. I mean, I think it's good to have a good memory in life as well. You know. And keep your memory alive, if you ask me. I mean, some people I feel they waste their time sometimes doing nothing in a kind of way, you know, where they could have a real rememberable day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Can make more of the moment.
Well, every day that goes by, it's possible to have an amazing day.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's up to the individual to try to achieve that magical day each day. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah. And also, it's two things. I think when you're trying to do that, there's two things that comprise in doing that. It's having the mindset first and foremost, waking up with the right mindset, saying, you know, every day is going to be a good day. You know, no matter what, every day is going to be a good day. We're alive. Give thanks. We're alive, and we're going to make the most of, you know, our time. And the second one being is also sometimes you have to make it a good day as well. You know, you have to get out or do something. You know, just get out and do something, or just change up your routine. Just do something different. You know, whatever. But sometimes, occasionally, you know, naturally, that's what you need to do. You have to actually make it a good day. You have to, you know, say tomorrow, okay, you know what? I've been in the house for the last. Let's say, okay, I'm on holiday right now. Let's say for the last few days I've been in the house relaxing, whatever, because I'm on holiday. So okay, the next couple of days, you know, me and the family are going to go out and do stuff because of, like, you know, I've had a few days of rest and being in the house, but now it's time to go out and do something. You know, let's like you said, make some memories. You know, have some fun. You know, just, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, and unless you get up and have motivate yourself to, you know, to get out and do that and be enthusiastic about it, try to think positively about it and about doing it, then it's, you know, it's kind of up to you.
That's like, you know, me. I go and visit my mum when I can. Say every 2 weeks if I can. You know, that's what I'm going to try aim for. And it's quite hard work going there. You know, I've got a cycle there and all sorts of stuff. You know, it's miles. It's hard work. You know, especially because I'm getting quite old now. You know. You know, it's quite hard work. But I do it. You know, and I know that I feel better when I come home. And when I do go and see my mum, you know, I always make her smile, make her laugh, and we have a good time. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like when I was a teenager, it was a different story. You know, I didn't understand things. I argued with her, you know, and you know, we didn't get on so well. Let's put it that way. Only because I didn't know better, if you see what I mean, or I didn't understand how to appreciate life or appreciate my mum at that age and things like that. I mean, I think it takes time to mature, and I mean, even having a memory, you've got to appreciate having a memory. I think. You know, I think that's number one. You know, having the ability to remember something and remember it tomorrow and in the future is a miracle.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, and I feel like people need to appreciate that they've got the ability to remember things.
Yeah, and part of it also as well is like, okay, let's look at learning, for example. Let's use learning as an example. A lot of things in life, right, in terms of like retaining information and learning things, is repetition, you know. A lot of it is repetition, you know. So that goes to a big part towards the memory as well too. Is okay, like I'm a songwriter, I do music. In order, like, if I perform or whatever the case may be in the future, I'm going to have to be able to recollect and recall all my lyrics for every single song that I might perform.
You could sort of like have a note there.
No, but no, but they wouldn't be very. You just wouldn't do that, would you?
No.
You know, people would think, you know, what is he on? Is he in La La Land? What's going on? This is not, you know.
No, if you're on.
But if you're a real artist, then whatever the case may be, like, you've got to go out there and be able to recall all your song lyrics and all these type of things. You know, you've got to have, you know, you've got to be able to, you know, delve into your memory base and recall all the things all the music you've written or done or whatever, and then perform it for people. You see what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, you've got to have a good memory.
You've got to have a good memory.
Especially if you've got a dance routine going on.
And all that kind of thing too. Yeah. It's like, you know,
The memory is very, very important.
It's powerful, and I think sometimes we as human beings underestimate how powerful we are as human beings, really, because we don't ever really think about it, because it's just natural for most of us anyway. If you see it for most people, you don't really think too much about it. But when you actually sit down and analyse it and really think about it and really, you know, you realise how powerful we are as humans. Like,
yeah, we are very, very.
We underestimate how greatly we have been created, or we've, you know.
Well, let's put it this way, you know, I have studied animals and birds most of my life, and I know, like, for instance, pigeons. Apparently, they're one of the only birds that can recognise your face and remember it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, parrots can do it again a little bit.
Yeah.
know, whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, so some birds have got the ability to memory of face. But
Yeah.
I feel that all birds and everything in life, you know, as long as they've got eyes, has got a memory. But humans' memory is very powerful. Do you know what I mean? It is more powerful than a pigeon's. Do you know what I mean? You know, but you know, even a pigeon having the ability to remember things. You know, because I mean, I feed pigeons now and again, as you know. I do another channel called The Bird Loving Man, whatever, and I go recording the pigeons. But the pigeons actually recognise me now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, familiar with you. Yeah.
They come down even if I haven't got any nuts, pigeon nuts on me or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So I just know that even animals and dogs, you know, even cats, they've got a real ability to remember things. Do you know what I mean? But we don't really realise they have in a funny way. You know, some people don't even think they got a soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they can't think, but they can. You know, I think like humans are a little bit different. You know, they invent things all the time. You know, you don't see cats or dogs inventing things, do you? Do you know what I mean? You know, have you ever seen a dog invent anything? I haven't. You know what I mean? But humans, they're always inventing things.
Because we're just naturally,
we've got memories.
We're creators as human beings.
We've got hands.
You know?
That's the thing. That's the difference. Our hands.
Yeah.
Right.
And not only that, but I think our intellect as well, mate. Our intellect as human beings, how far we've evolved, especially like up into this present day today. Like we are intellectually inclined as human beings now today. Yeah. We understand, like, okay, let's just look at science as an example.
Yeah.
There's people out there that fully understand all the laws of nature and how all physics work, like all you know, complete breakdown of how physics works in every single way, chemistry, biology. Like we are, you know.
And whatever we know today, they're gonna go further and research tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whatever we've learned.
Yeah.
You know, and that's human beings for you. You know.
Yeah.
But I do look at us, right? We've got hands. We've had really, really clever hands for thousands of years now.
Yeah.
And what that does, all right, when someone's painting something, all right, for all day, say, they wake up the next day more intelligent. Do you know what I mean? And humans have always been very arty with their hands. They're always. That's why we invented little watches like this today. Do you know what I mean? And all kinds of things. You know, we are inventors. Our imaginations are huge.
Yeah.
And they, you know, I mean, even I've not invented really anything in my life, yeah, but I feel like I have. You know, I've got all these inventions that I'm living amongst every day, if you sort of mean, in this modern world. Yeah. And they keep coming out, don't they? Like today, even when you go and pay for things, you know, you don't even have to type your number in. It's all done with wireless,
contactless,
whatever, you know. And I just feel like what we know today. What's the world going to be like in 10 years? What the computer is going to be like in 10 years? You know?
Well, it's a little bit scary, really, when you think about it, because I think really and truly we're living in like like I said to you before, like a transhumanist kind of like future, really, where the goals and everything else of the elite essentially are to kind of merge man with machine. You know, they believe that the evolution, the only way man can further evolve and become even more intelligent and more kind of like immortal as well, in a sense, by merging man with machine, if you see what I mean.
No, they're doing it today,
well,
aren't they?
They've already, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think even the other day actually there was like the first robot, supposedly first robot, quote unquote, that came from somewhere in China or Japan, I believe, one of those countries, and it's been brought to America. If you see what I mean, to be like under like a trial, like as a police, I think as like to work with the police or something like that. If you see what I mean, but it's under a trial. But literally landed, came on a helicopter. If you see what I mean, and landed, and you know what I mean, get off, and they were literally recording this robot leaving the helicopter and walking across, you know, toward, you know, it was So.
But you think about what I was talking about just now, inventions, all right? Now humans in the last century have even invented the memory. You know, a thing that can remember things, like, you know, that's the computer for you, a silicon chip. You know
yeah, for sure, yeah.
You know, and that is showing you how far we've gone, anyway, you know, that we not only invented the eyes with the camera, if you sort of mean, we've invented the memory as well.
Yeah.
And we've worked out the ears as well with microphone and speakers, if you sort of mean, you know. So we're kind of halfway there of making a robot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A memory,
Yeah.
eyes, speakers, and all this. You know, microphone, a mouth and ears, if you see what I mean. You know, but the memory is a huge step forward for man.
For sure. But I think one of the only things that probably can never really you know, I might be wrong, I could be wrong, you know, we can all be wrong occasionally. I don't know how you can, a robot can't have feelings, so
no.
Anything that's not a sentient being cannot have
No, that's I agree with you. I agree.
So it might be you might be able to make a robot where it's completely programmable.
Yeah, make it look sad.
Programmable to the point where but it can't actually, you know, it would never be able to feel, you know, any real feeling, any emotional memory. If you see what I mean, it won't be able to grasp. You know, it might be able to hear things and see, you know, have visual sight and, you know, whatever.
Well, as I say, how far a man's gone today, whatever they know, they know.
Yeah.
And in the future, like tomorrow and the next day, they will go forward in what we know, if you see what I mean, and they might come up with, I don't know, do you know what I mean? You know, maybe it's possible, if you see what I mean. You know, I wouldn't have thought the memory was impossible. You know, anyone to invent the memory, but they have, if you see what I mean. You know, but it's come up. You know, I didn't think what telephones would ever exist when I was younger, 30 years ago, but they do today. Yeah. And everyone's got one almost, or anyone can put their hands on one, I think, almost. It's amazing technology what we're living, you know. I think we've gone, in the last 50 years, a huge step. Oh yeah, for sure. And I think, wow. You know what I mean? We've gone, I think in the last 50 years we've gone further than we ever have done, if you ask me. And all the time before that, if you see what I mean. I mean, we've invented a hell of a lot before the computer, okay? But I think this is really sort of taking man a giant step forward. Oh yeah, yeah. If you see what I mean, you know. And I don't know where we're going to go next anyway. If you see what I mean. Yeah. You know, it's I don't think I'm going to be here to see it. If you see what I mean, you know. Well, I think you might be, mate. If you live, well, you're. You know, you don't have to disclose your age, but I was going to say if you live another 30, 35 years, mate, even I'll probably be blind, and my memory would be lost
maybe
by then.
Maybe even 40 pushing it. My
memory would be gone in 10 years.
No, but even in the next 10 years, mate, I think a lot probably will happen, mate, and transpire, mate. Look at every day right now in the world right now, something's happening. If you see what I mean, things are constantly chopping and changing constantly. If you see what I mean, you know. So within 10 years' time, who knows what's going to be going on and where we are, where we're going to be technologically, and even what state the world's going to be in, if you see what I mean, you know.
But like, I mean, if I say, I went to bed tonight and I fell out of bed, you know, knocked my head or something, and then I woke up and I forgot everything that I ever done, you know, and start again, if you know what I mean, you know. And not worry about what's out, you know, on the news. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean,
I'll ring you up and say, mate, I'm coming round. It's like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't know a Josh. Who's Josh? I don't know a Josh.
yeah, it'd be funny, but I mean, it happens, doesn't it? It's true.
Yeah, it does happen. Happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But
I'd be thinking, what the hell's going on? I'd be thinking, he's playing I'd be thinking that at first. I'd be thinking you'd be playing like a practical joke on me, like a prank on me. You know, thinking, what the hell, you know? Don't know a Josh.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But yeah, I think the memory is a very magical thing that sometimes we forget that we've got, you know, or we don't.
Yeah.
We don't use it enough to the ability we can take it to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like enough people dream enough, or I feel like maybe people haven't got time to dream enough. Do you know what I mean? Because they're working in their 9-to-5 jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're not free to think. If you sort of mean, because they're tied up doing other things all the time with their life.
Occupied, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is the reality for most people in today's society. Let's be honest.
I know what it's like, you know.
Yeah.
I've been 9 to 5 and all this, and working weekends.
9 to 5. Yeah.
You know, I've worked really hard in my past. Do you know what I mean? And I can remember, you know, there's no way I could actually sort of like, I mean, let's put it this way: when I was working for a supermarket, there's no way I could just sort of stop, put a pillow down, sleep, and, you know, and start dreaming, and start thinking about tomorrow or whatever, you know, and relaxing. You know, the manager would come along, and tell me to go home.
Yeah, basically.
You know, so you can't be yourself at work, can you? You know.
Well, you can to a degree, but like you said, you're on someone else's obligation essentially. You know.
Well, he wouldn't want you to go to bed, would he?
When you're employed, you're there to do a job. Basically, they're giving you money for your time.
Yeah.
Essentially, in a lot of jobs, you know. So literally, whatever you come to work, and this is your job description. This is what you're supposed to be doing. That's what you're going to be doing for that time period. And obviously, they give you allocated breaks. You might get like, you know, half an hour lunch break, or 10-minute, quick 10-minute break, and then a half an hour lunch break, or something, or whatever. But you're obligated, aren't you? When you become an employee and you sign that it's just like anything in life. You sign that contract. You know, you're basically saying that I'm going to be here on time. I'm going to be here on the days that I'm rotated or scheduled to be here, and I'm going to follow the rules and the guidelines of the company in which I'm working for.
No sleeping.
Yeah.
No drawing. There's lots of rules. You see, you're not allowed to break. You know, you just got to do whatever the job is, haven't you? You know.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I mean, I know this, you know, I know that I'm free now, you know, because I'm retired from work, you know, and I'm free to go to sleep when I want, I'm free to bath when I want, I'm free to go for a walk when I want. It's nice, it's lovely, you know, and I just feel a lot of people haven't got that freedom out there to do that. They wish they were retired, you know, some people.
Yeah. I'll be retiring early, mate, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I think...
I've even told my wife, I said, come 45, I said no later than 45, you know, 45, you know, that's the goal. I want to be retired by 45, you know, that gives me another 15 years, you know, hopefully, you know, hopefully, you know, and then another 15 years, you know, I don't want to retire any later than 45, you know, all these people retiring at 67, and they're waiting to die and shit, like, I don't want to, that's not a part of my plan personally, you know, it's much more to life than that, you know, I'm going to work and ensure that I, you know, build up a certain amount of wealth and do certain things so that by I come 45 I can relax. I know my family are taken care of, my kids are older and they're, you know, looked after and got their own lives and whatever else, and then it's time to relax, you know.
Well, I just feel that as soon as you go to school, you're there for a few, you know, and then you go have your tea break, then you have your lunch break, tea break, go home. You're allowed to enjoy life, you know. So then you go next day, tea break, you're allowed to enjoy yourself. Right. You know, I think like school takes enjoyment out of life, and so does work in a funny way. You know, I mean, I know that people can enjoy school and people can enjoy work, you know, depending on what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I just feel that the purpose of life is to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Every moment of it, really. You know, but I feel that in this life, people are not allowed to enjoy themselves.
Right.
You know, that, you know, you've got to go to work, you've got to educate yourself.
Yeah.
As much as you can so you can get a good job. You know.
The pressures of life.
Yeah, the pressures of life. You know, and I feel like these pressures, so much pressure is on everyone. Paying bills as well. Day after day, whatever, week after week, and the price of living's going up at the moment, whatever.